Hello, friends. Welcome back. I can't believe I've avoided this for so long. And truthfully, I've been in denial about many of the things that I have been avoiding for a really long time. And I wasn't aware that I was doing it. And I was probably even in denial that I was doing it. But I started this YouTube channel with the intent of documenting exactly what my journey is, exactly what the feelings that I'm processing are. And I want a record of how much I've grown throughout the process and there was a brief technical issue there, but we got to roll with the punches, right? So hopefully this will continue to stay stable and balanced, and hopefully I will do the same. But the whole intent of this channel was for me to document my journey and be able to look back and see how much I've grown, how much my life has changed, and share that experience with you because I suspect there's lots of folks out there that are going through something similar. And it's been hard. I think I got to mess with this here to get it balanced. I think one of the mistake, actually, not I think, I've made every mistake that there is in this separation process. And not, at least I don't think I'm being too hard on myself. I think I'm being objective. Although objectively, this is not balanced, which is not what I want. But it's been rough and it's taken a tremendous amount of pain for me to get into well, actually, not even to get into action. It's taken me tremendous pain to wake up. And unfortunately, the only thing that I really tend to learn from is when I'm in a lot of pain. And no, you don't need to cry me a river or play the world's smallest violin. I'm not looking for sympathy here. Just sharing the truth. It's been really painful. And so much of my identity was wrapped up in being a father and being married, being a husband, being a provider, being a certain, I don't know, a certain ideal that I had created for myself. And to have all those things change has been hard. And I'm sure that's not a unique experience to me. I'm sure pretty much anybody who goes through this experiences a lot of the same feelings, but it's been a difficult journey. And I didn't realize how much I've been avoiding up until recently. And one of the mistakes that I made in our separation process is I've set myself up to be available on demand at all times. And I know that's a mistake. I know that's not teaching anybody anything. And yet I felt compelled to do that because I also know what it's like when I'm not there. And I don't want my kids to suffer. And I don't want my kids to go without. And to be clear, this is not a knock or an indictment or a bashing session on my ex at all. Because I know she's doing the best she can. And I know that she loves our kids as much as I do. So there's no venom in these statements. But I also know that I filled a lot of gaps that existed just functionally running the house and running the scheduling and running the kids and the systems and the processes that are inherent when one runs the family. And I know that there's a big void. So when the kids would call me and essentially demand me to come over and fix whatever the issue or problem or situation might be, I often did that. And it was dumb, frankly. It was dumb, but I learned, and it took me a long time to figure that out. And saying no to my kids is difficult. Just is. It's not so. Well, I take that back. It is difficult for me to say no in certain situations, right? Saying no is critical to the development of any kid. You need to set boundaries and all those things. So that's not what I'm referencing, but I became Mr. On Demand and or available on demand, and it didn't allow me to really lean into any type of living my own life or starting my own life. It was really as if on the times that I didn't have my kids, I was overwhelmed and stuck in a position of waiting for that next on demand phone call. And that's again, no way to live. So I learned from it, but I wanted to share a story because I didn't realize how much I was avoiding. And I don't know how to, I really don't know how to tell this story without cross blending some of the other things I talk about on other channels, but I can escape into work. I can escape into action. And I read your comments. Some of you have left some really incredibly profound comments that have allowed me to think and question myself, critique myself. Um, I forget exactly who it was, and I'm not looking at the comments now. And I'm doing actually what I think the woman asked me to do, which is take a moment and reflect. I think her suggestion was that I go to the beach and just be present. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a beautiful day out. And I noticed something on this walk, which is different than normal. I'm normally so consumed by my own thoughts that I don't necessarily hear the birds. I don't necessarily listen to the birds chirping or how pretty it sounds. I don't take in how beautiful the surroundings are. I'm completely disconnected from all of the wonderful things and all the beauty that's happening around me because I'm so consumed by whatever the thing is that I'm consumed by. And so I really appreciated that particular perspective because I force myself to do lots of things, to take lots of actions. But what I realized is many of the actions that I'm taking are just creating avoidance behaviors that are not allowing me to really live my life the right way. And not even the right way. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. It's what's right for you. But I haven't been expanding. My life, my world has not been expanding, at least not the way I want it to. And so recently, and it's really since I got back from Panama that I've turned over a new leaf, I think. But while or when I got back, I made a decision that I was going to do everything in my power to let go and let God. And turn everything over and lean into acceptance and lean into grace and lean into forgiveness and let go of my resentments because they are consuming, they are toxic, they will destroy me and they'll destroy. I think the saying is that the resentments poison the vessel that carries them but does nothing to hurt or harm or affect the person that is the recipient. um, that's true, but they're cancerous to me. But since I got back, and it's been a few weeks now, I really made a focus of my perspective to be what is it that makes me happy? What is it that creates joy? What is it that creates abundance? And what actions do I need to take to continue to allow those things to happen? And one of them is really easy. It's going to sound ridiculous, I'm sure, but I just decided I was going to be friendlier. And I think I'm a pretty friendly person, but it was Easter Sunday, and Easter was an incredibly good day. It was, well, one, it's the resurrection of the Lord, but it's also an opportunity for me to, raise from the dead. And I feel like that's how I was living. So we did many things together as a family. We did many things independently. My spouse, or soon to be ex spouse, or I don't know what I'm supposed to call her in this limbo process, but we got along great. We had a good time as a family. And it's been a long time since I allowed myself, or really anybody else around me, to have a good time while we're together in those moments. And it wasn't intentional. It was just that I had so much pent up resentment that it probably was exuding all over everybody else or impacting everybody else negatively. I don't think anybody else knew how to act in those moments. And my energy can be infectious, and my negative energy certainly can be infectious. So I don't want to do that anymore. And I didn't. So we had a better time, which was great. But at the conclusion of all of the family events, we came back to where I live, and miraculously, the Easter Bunny had come here, and it was really cool. It was really fun. It was very sweet. But one of the Easter baskets had a bug collection kit that I knew my daughter would love. And so when we opened the basket and she found that thing or that toy or whatever it is, we immediately made a decision that we were going to come outside and we were going to hunt for some bugs to collect. And these are the moments that are just priceless. Like, I love those moments, and they were phenomenal. They were really, really great moments. But we're looking around. We went in the backyard, couldn't find anything good. We went in the front, couldn't find anything good. So we walked to the park, really couldn't find anything good. And we were searching the perimeter of the pool area. And while we were there, I happened to notice that there was a kid and his mother, but the boy was jumping into the pool. And the pool, in my opinion, is cold. So I asked the question, is the pool cold? And I was curious, right? Is the pool cold? And it turns out that the boy was incredibly friendly, and we sparked up a conversation which led to, well, one, yes, the pool was cold, but his mother informed me that the pool probably isn't cold to them because they're visiting from London, and I will likely think that the pool is cold, but they think it's great. So whatever. But that's how the conversation started. And from there, the boy offered, or he asked some questions about what we were doing, and we told him we were collecting bugs, and he offered us some silly string, which he informed me that silly string is very effective in helping catch bugs, and he likes to collect bugs. So he offered us the silly string, and I thought it was incredibly sweet and very nice. And we had a nice little exchange, and then off we walked to the area that I'm at now, which is there's a little island, which is I don't remember where I started this video or where the actual video started recording, because I did a couple different intros before the gimbal stabilized. But at some point, you may have seen me walk over a bridge. Well, we were over the bridge and onto this little island, and we were looking for bugs and looking for alligators and looking for all kinds of cool stuff, ducks, snakes, birds, whatever may be there. That's what we want to find. And so we were out on this hunt, and all of a sudden I noticed that this boy and his mother are like coming to us at a rapid pace. He's on his scooter, he's flying, and he's waving us down, and he's like, "Hey, can I play with you?" And it was just incredibly nice, sweet moment. And of course, he came and played with us, and his mother and I ended up, walking around with the kids, and we had a really nice time, which we came to learn that they are visiting for a short period, but they're only a few houses down. And that led to a friendship between all of us where we had play dates every night of the week. And it was a really good reminder that it's not hard to make friends. It's not hard to lean in. It's not hard to be friendly. But now we've got friends that live over in London on the other side of the earth. And it's super cool that my kids got to experience that. And now they're I don't know if they're doing Roblox or how they're communicating, but they're still communicating. So back when I was young, that would have been, I don't know, maybe a pen pal. That was a thing. But in today's age, to actually know somebody on the other side of the planet that we just met organically while searching bugs or searching for bugs, I think is super cool. But had I not been friendly, well, then we never would have had this enriching opportunity to make some new friends. And that's just the beginning, right? So I then proceeded to look at some of the things that I used to do um, within my business, right? And again, don't want to cross pollinate between different channels, but I've got a real estate business. And that real estate business, thankfully, um, I've been incredibly blessed. It continues to grow and it continues to present opportunities to teach other people the real estate industry or help plenty of other people buy and sell homes, get what they want. This is not a commercial. Don't take it that way. But there have been times where my business has grown and scaled, and I've had a large team. There have been times where my business became its own brokerage and it's grown and scaled and and then I decided it's not what I wanted. Um, it was too much too soon. But I share that because I remember that when I am into action and leaning into helping other people, my world, my business, my everything grows. I feel better about myself. And so I'm sharing this because the only solution that I have found to my depression really has been through action and also through disconnection, meaning disconnect in nature, disconnect into God, pour into that relationship because I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I have found when I am looking for gratitude or not looking, when I am grateful for the things I have. And when I'm leaning in to help other people, it's just like it's like rocket fuel in terms of feeling better about myself. So it's selfish in some ways. I don't mean for it to be, but it's truthfully, it is. So I haven't made a video in a while. I figured I'd share this. Divorce is not easy. Separation is not easy. And it is difficult for the person, in this case, me, the sick person to diagnose and cure himself. I didn't realize that I was in a depression. Many of you pointed it out in the comments, but I didn't want to admit that. I didn't want to accept that up until I was on the other side of it. And I'm happy to say, at least for today, I am on the other side of it. So yeah, it's striking a balance. It's getting right with the man. It's being accountable for your actions, but it's also about being intentional about building the life that you want and living the way that you want to, choosing the way you want to live. And again, this is really just for me. I hope someone else takes benefit from it. But if you don't, that's okay. Just know that if nobody's told you today that they love you, just know that I do. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video.